What's up, guys? Welcome to the Beastly Thoughts Show. For your viewing pleasure this week, we have whittled down the hosts to only the best-looking three.
Oh yeah,
You
baby.
didn't even have to tell them that. They could have wrote that in the comments themselves.
Beautiful Canadian face too, but you know.
What's going on, Robbie? What's going on, Beastly? How you guys doing this week? What have you been up to? Don't everybody talk at once.
I've been playing some video games, man. I've been really enjoying myself. This week I've kind of dedicated the week almost to The Last of Us. I've been playing a little bit of PS Vita stuff.
I've been watching your videos. I like what you're doing with your videos right now. Kind of you're doing like a live commentary. I like them. They're fun to watch.
Yeah, and for the guys who like The Last of Us, I actually ordered the little dongle that I need to convert my digital output to 3.5 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
So once it'll be here by the 15th, and then you'll be able to hear everybody on my videos, the guys on my team and I, as we work together to whoop ass in The Last of Us. I'm having a lot of fun with that game. That is my game. I guess everybody says they have their game. Some people like, COD. Some people like, RPGs. And for me, that experience I'm having online with The Last of Us is just, it solidifies for me what a great multiplayer experience is.
Beasley, do you have like a core group of players that you play with often, or do you kind of do random lobbies, or what do you do in that? Because one of the interesting things about that game is the way it kind of melds the story into the multiplayer. I was just wondering, like, kind of what your experience is with it.
It depends. There's a core group of guys that I do like to play with. There's probably about 10 guys that I play with on a regular basis in The Last of Us. And we do supply raids, and we coordinate very well together. That's a game that communication is very important to success in that game. Being able to explain to people where enemies are, what people are doing, where you're going, and so I work together with a team dominantly. Every day I'll jump into a game, and it's just a beast by himself with 3 random guys. But it normally goes well because no matter what, whether the person I'm playing with has a mic or not, I'll always communicate to them what's going on, what I see. And it helps the team. So whether or not people have mics, I'm always going to run my big fucking mouth in that game.
Is voice chat turned on by default? Like,
it is. If you have a mic plugged in, you're automatically talking. You have to actually go in and mute players individually or mute them all in the lobby if that's something you're not into.
That's something I'm used to from Call of Duty, but in my limited experience with Last of Us, I didn't find many people talking.
That's one thing I will say. I'm finding maybe 40% of players talk, 60% don't. Yeah, and it's really weird to me because each PlayStation 4 came with a mic. And so that's the one thing that kind of frustrates me compared to like Xbox Live. Xbox Live, it's like everybody talks, no matter what game you're playing.
Right.
You've got a room full of people going back and forth. And then The Last of Us, a game that's really centered around communication, you'd expect to get much more people communicating than you do. And hopefully, as the game progresses, because they're making new DLC for it now, as the game progresses and continues to grow, more people will understand that that's a dynamic that you need to utilize to see through to victory with your team. Because if you go in and just go Rambo style on your own, you're going to get owned and your teams are going to suffer. And you got to be able to coordinate with your team. And if you do break off, they need to know where you're going and why you're going. And it's just a game that I love playing. Robbie, you know what I'm talking about. It's a hell of an experience for me. And my subscribers are loving it a lot. I hit the 400 mark.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Thank you to everybody out there who's subscribing to the channel. But a lot of the people, my new subscribers, are just loving that Last of Us content. That's what I'm getting comments on. They love the way I play it. They love the camaraderie, the back and forth. And that's something I think I'll be doing for some time to come. Played some Destiny today.
Yeah, really, I know.
Like every day.
Really enjoyed that experience. Last week I was a little bit more down on it, and you made a comment last week that I had to agree with just based on my experience. That when you play with your friends and you got a group of people you're going out doing strikes with, it does make the game a lot more enjoyable. Today I did a level 26 strike. I had you there and had CT. Shout out to CT. He's a great Destiny player, and he's been playing with you for a long time. And we went on and did a strike, and it took us how long? Maybe an hour to do it?
Yeah, it was about that. I think it was level 26.
Level 26. And we got owned a couple of times. But the fun for me, I got that fun that you talked about so much last week out of today's experience. Today's experience made me want to go right back in and play some more, because I did feel like today I really understood fully what you were saying last week, that was kind of my story. Today what happened really was my story of that strike, how the main boss of that strike was shooting at us, and then CT started shooting at him. And it was like CT had poison darts, because he completely said, fuck you guys, and went straight to CT.
Yeah.
And it was a very funny experience.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, and I think that if I can catch up with you guys or some of the BC Thoughts gang, or even some people out there in YouTube land, and play the game with people who want to communicate and have a ball, it'll reinvigorate that experience for me, because today I had a great time.
Yeah.
And play Pixel Junk Monsters, guys. I know it's an older game, especially for people who haven't played it. It's very fun. If you like puzzles, if you like strategy type, RTS games, it's really, really fun. And when I got 20 minutes to kill or 10 minutes to kill, I pull it out, and it's always fulfilling. And I would ask everybody to check that game out. It's really awesome.
Robbie, how about you? What have you been playing this week?
I've been doing really good. I've been playing a lot of Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, but getting back into that game, like, man, it's a lot of fun. I just forgot how fun that game was. And
that's out on the PlayStation 4 now, right?
Yeah, it came out back in August, and I played it a lot when it came out, probably the first week or two. I was gaming it a lot, and then I kind of just moved on to other stuff, but now I'm back into it, and it's really fun.
Mm-hmm. Now, that game is cool because it has all the classes, right? You have different classes on both sides, so it's not necessarily a balanced experience. Is that right?
Yeah, like especially on the zombie side, you have someone like the foot soldier, who's the guy, like the assault player, you go up into the field and take him out, whereas the all-star, you kind of sit back, you're like the tank with more health, and you have like the big machine gun, stuff like that, and then like you have the scientist, who's the healer, and same for the plants too, you got all those types of players, so like the assault, the defense, and like the tank with the big machine gun.
Yeah, that game, I think, it did something special, whereas it blended kind of like it gave a younger audience kind of that shooter feel. You know, it's a third-person game, but it's still a shooter, and it's a team-based multiplayer shooter, and there's not a whole lot of that's not mature rated. So I think it's really successful in that too.
Yeah, it's a really refreshing experience, especially from all the M-rated shooters we get these days. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't already.
Yeah, Call of Duty Modern
Garden Fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
Not too much, really. Yeah, I don't know. That's been mostly it.
So I'm surprised that I'm the only one here who picked up Super Smash Brothers, because I was the only one who said I'm not buying it.
Oh, wow.
But in all honesty, I haven't played it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I bought it. I have two kids, right? And they're both pretty big Mario fans, although Minecraft takes up a majority of their time. So I brought it home for them, and I've been kind of watching them play it a little bit. And it's, it looks like Super Smash Brothers from, well, every other Super Smash Brothers game. So
copy and paste game.
Well, yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with it. If it wasn't coming out for the Wii U next month, I would definitely pick that up. I think that it would be a definite must-have for me. For people who only have handhelds, I think that they have to buy that game if they have any inclination to know anything about Smash Bros.
Yeah.
But I can actually wait now, because I got my Nintendo Playing with Power going on this month, so I'm good to go.
That's right. You didn't mention that you were playing Bayonetta, right?
Yeah, I was playing. I got my Wii U. I just got somebody to send me a comment right before the show and said, "Beastly, I can't wait till you get your Wii U." I got my Wii U. I bought it a couple of days ago, and I got the Zelda bundle, and it was really hard to find it. So I got the Wind Waker HD, which looks phenomenal. It really does. I actually have it on GameCube, so I can actually compare the two. It looks head and shoulders above the original. And if anybody here has played the Wind Waker, you know how fun that game is. It was a really nice experience. They've changed some of the sailing aspects of the game, so you don't have to do as much sailing. Your boat can actually go twice as fast. The game is awesome. Yeah, the game has an awesome soundtrack. I got a game with it for free, Pac-Man Adventures, which I'll wait till Nova gets a little bit older to play that. I'm waiting for Smash Brothers. But out of the experiences I've got so far, I played the Bayonetta 2 demo that just came out. That game is sick. Until I got my Wii U, I wasn't really caring. But now that I've actually played it and got a chance to experience the control and the way that it feels and the way the game looks, that game is awesome. Bayonetta 2 is probably going to be better than the original just based on the way they're doing this. They've even tightened up the control scheme. It just feels so much more tight. It looks beautiful. It animates well. The enemies seem intelligent, and that's probably something I'm going to pick up myself because it's a lot of fun. I played Zombie U, which is a creepy-ass game. I played the demo, which is really creepy. It's just too cloudy for me. And I played, what is it, the 100 Heroes? I'm trying to think of the name of it. Can you guys think of it?
Is it
Wonderful 101?
Yeah, Wonderful 101. That game is pretty fun. I didn't think it would be this type of game, but it involves you and a bunch of other superheroes running around the board and taking out enemies using combined powers. And I think that game really, it plays with your mind when it comes to figuring out strategies against enemies, and it's a pretty fun game. So far, I'm really enjoying my Wii U. I know a lot of people hate on it, and with good reason, but I think this is going to be the year for the Wii U. And the experiences I've had so far, I got to say I'm enjoying it, so definitely.
Nice. So the majority of my time has been spent on Destiny. I played the normal game for the entire week, kind of saving up some strange coins, playing the weekly strike or the nightfall strike with this guy or that guy. And one of the cool things I found about Destiny that I've never had the experience of in any other game is just being able to start randomly inviting people off of my friends list. They come, they join my party, and I say, here's what I'm doing. Are you in? I've already done that, and they'll leave. Or, yeah, I need to do that. And so, all of a sudden you got a group of 3 people dedicated toward this one cause, and you might spend the next 2 hours talking to that person, really trying to coordinate. So that's how my week was spent, and then on Friday I actually got together with 9 to 5 Gamers and one of his buddies from Milwaukee, and we did a couple of, I think we did the weekly strike on level 28, which was tough. It took us a while. I was a level 27 at the time, I think, so was 9 to 5 Gamers, and that's a level 28 strike at this point. So it was a tough strike, and we got through that. We all went to check out Xur and buy that new sniper rifle, the Icebreaker that came out, and I was 1 coin short. 1 coin short.
Oh, that is the worst.
So I'm like, all right, that's not a problem. All I'm going to do is I'll just grind some Crucible, because I want to play the Iron Banner anyway, which is the new mode that came out, which is supposedly an unbalanced version of the Crucible, but doesn't seem to be that unbalanced to me. And Bungie's come out and said that, maybe in the future there's going to be some changes to it. So I grinded that out for the rest of the night. Still didn't get a strange coin. So Saturday, I played almost all day on Saturday. It was one of the first days I haven't had to work my second job as a photographer. So I had it was like my first free Saturday that I can remember. And so I played all day. I did not get a strange coin all day. Okay,
what?
So yeah, me and Jan were going out to dinner that night, and I'm like, literally, 5 more minutes, Jan, 5 more minutes. I just need 5 minutes. I wanted that damn Icebreaker. Didn't get it, so I'm like, all right. I drop the controller. I walk away. I'm not gonna think about this. I'm not gonna let it worry me. It's just a video game. I'm gonna step away. I'm gonna be the bigger man here. Okay. We go out to dinner. We had great Indian food. Had some chicken tikka masala. Oh, it's delicious. Come home. Jan wants to watch a movie. I'm like, okay. I've already watched this movie though, so I grabbed the PS Vita. Grabbed the Vita, and I signed into Destiny on the Vita. And I'm running strikes while she's watching the movie.
Did you get the strange coin on the Vita?
Finally, at 11 o'clock, I get 2 strange coins from a strike. And I'm like, yes!
I knew that was coming.
I go see Xur and I buy the Icebreaker. I turn the thing off. I'm like, okay, Jan, where are we in this movie?
For a minute, I thought you were going to say that your waiter's name was Xur.
Yeah.
Xur, please bring me the Icebreaker.
So after that, today I started playing some Destiny early. And I actually got a chance to finish the raid, which was a nice thing to do. I've been really looking forward to that. As a group, the Beastly Thoughts crew has tried to do it, but we only tried to do it once, and we tried for about, 3 or 4 hours, Robbie?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. And we got pretty far in. We didn't have much further to go, but we got stuck and we got tired, so we just kind of let it go. And we were going to try again on Friday, but that fell through. So I just basically started a party, right? I said, okay, I'm going to start inviting people off of my friends list and, tell them, hey, this is to do the raid. If you want to do the raid, stay in here. If you got any friends who want to do the raid, invite them. And we got 6 people together, one of whom had a save state at the last boss on the raid. So we were able to go into the raid, beat the last boss, get all the loot, and walk away. It was awesome. So I got like the coolest gun. It's like an auto rifle with void damage. I got the all white shader, so I look like an iPod walking around the screen. That was really fun.
That gun looks like the leg of one of the insects from Starship Troopers or something, man. It's just fucking huge. All these appendages sticking off of it. Yeah.
That's the Icebreaker. That's the sniper rifle I bought from Zer.
That's the one that has the flames coming out of the front.
Yeah, it looks like a hedge.
A hedge trimmer.
Yeah. But it's badass. So so then after that, I got off for a little bit, and I came back on, and Beastly was on. So we did a strike together, and then we played some Iron Banner, and both of those were really fun. We were playing, I think you said already, CT-242, and that was super fun. Oh, I forgot, too, is I found like a new area in Destiny. I made a video about that today, too. So I don't know. Destiny over here. That's all it's been.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I can elaborate on more stories if you want, but I'm sure people are getting pretty sick of me talking about Destiny at this point.
If you're having fun, you're having fun, man.
Yeah.
So this week it hasn't been too much news, but a lot of the news that's been coming out this week has been feeding the fire of fanboyism and
Resolution Gate.
Resolution Gate. I wish that gate would just close or stay open forever. It's a war that'll always persist, and we got 2 new games that are the center of Resolution Gate. The 2 games are Assassin's Creed Unity and Dragon Age Inquisition. Now, Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft has come out and made a statement confirming that PS4 and Xbox One's versions of the games will both be locked at 900p resolution and 30 frames per second. And so, of course, that incited a lot of fervor in the video game community. People feeling that the PS4
here was that one of the developers actually did an interview and said the reason the PlayStation 4 version was locked was to keep it lockstep with the Xbox One version.
Yeah, so basically the Xbox One is holding back the PS4 in this case. That's what they said. That's frustrating.
So that's I think, why people are really upset about it, because as a PlayStation 4 player, like, hey, I don't really care if you're an Xbox One player. If you want to play this game on Xbox One, that's great, and I hope they make the best version of the game that they possibly can. But I don't want the game that I pay $60 for being held back because of somebody else's deal or somebody else's decision.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a valid criticism. Now, it's Ubisoft, right?
Yeah.
No, Ubisoft.
No,
Ubisoft.
Oh, I just got that.
So I think Ubisoft has kind of pulled back on this and said, whoa, wait a minute. This developer was not authorized to say this, but I mean, it's out there, right? And now it's in everybody's head, and I think people are really, really upset about it.
It's too late now.
How much of that comment or that statement do you believe to be true, Brian? Do you think that's actually what they did, that they locked the PS4 version to? Because I heard them say in the statement as well that they wanted to avoid the conversation.
Right.
They wanted to totally, jump over this whole resolution thing. The Xbox One can't keep up with the PS4. They wanted to eliminate that fervor and just lock them both at the same resolution and frame rate. And as a person who predominantly games on PlayStation platforms, I feel that this is extremely shisty. This is underhanded way to develop games, and it really put a bad taste in the mouth of gamers with that developer. And Ubisoft, there's already a lot of people who are frustrated with their tactics, as of late as well. But for them they're not doing the same thing with the PC version. The PC version, I'll tell you now, is going to be able to run 1080p, maybe even higher. It's going to be able to run 60 frames per second, if not higher, on higher-end PCs. And they didn't lock that, and people are paying the same price for that as they will for the PS4 version or the Xbox One version. I think that they should optimize it for each console or for the PC accordingly, instead of locking the consoles at the same to make it appear that the power is equal across the platforms.
So it's easy to connect the dots here, right? It's easy to say, well, so we know that Assassin's Creed Unity is like being advertised on the Xbox One. So now we think we know that the reason both games are running at 900p is because Microsoft is the lead platform, and we don't want the PlayStation version to look better.
Yeah.
But do we know that that's really the case? I mean, this one developer made some comments that seemed to indicate that. They pulled back on it right away.
Well, this is the thing you got to take into account. This guy knows more about the development process of this game than anybody else. He's one of the few people who actually has inside information on the way this game is being developed for PS4 and the Xbox One. This thought process didn't just come out of the ether. This has to be something that he either knows about, was a part of, because I'm sure that if you're doing an interview, if you're making a statement on something that you're working on, you're going to make a statement based on the facts of the situation. That you have handlers and people who usually tell you what you can and can't say, and maybe he didn't know he couldn't speak the truth on the matter. I just don't think that something like that will just come out of the ether. That we locked the PS4 version to make it, seem equal to the Xbox One version because the Xbox One is the lead platform for the game. And if they did the same thing with Call of Duty, I'd be tripping out, but I don't think that would be the case. But I think that that's what it is. I think Microsoft, has a little bit more pull with the Assassin's Creed Unity game, and more than likely they made some kind of deal with Ubisoft.
So the guy who made these comments, his name is Pont Bryant or something along those lines, and he's saying that I simply chose the wrong words when talking about the game's resolution, and for that I'm sorry. But he himself is backing off on it,
He wants to keep his job.
Yeah.
He's getting that paycheck.
And I kind of want it to be true just because it's so much fun to talk about. But at the same time, it's like,
well,
I don't really know that it is true.
I'm leaning toward the fact that it is true, or the thought process that it is to me, because if you look at Dragon Age Inquisition, they tweeted out 2 days ago that Dragon Age did, that this game will be running at 1080p on the PS4, 900p on the Xbox One. It didn't say anything about frame rate in general, but I'm guessing it'll be 30 across both platforms.
Yeah.
But across the board, 95% of all multiplats have been having the same conundrum with the PS4 and the Xbox One, where the PS4 is...
Something Not Too Nerdy told us was going to happen right off the bat. You remember that?
Yeah. I mean, he knew what he was talking about, It seems to be the case. And here we are a year in, and nothing has changed. These new games are still being developed, won't be coming out until, the end of the year and the beginning of next year. They're having the same issues.
Yeah.
I think that the PS4 is obviously stronger hardware, and the fact that you're locking, Assassin's Creed on both systems lets me know that one of them is being held back. The PS4 has never had any problem running the game at 900p 30 frames per second. The PS4 has been able to run games at 1080p, and so I think it's pretty solidified in my mind what happened here, that Ubisoft decided to lock them both because the Xbox One's the lead platform for their game, and it would look tacky. Honestly, that's the word. It would look tacky for it to be their lead game and come out on the competitor's console and run better, look better, and run at a higher frame rate. And I think that's what happened.
Put yourself in Ubisoft's shoes, though, right? Is that okay, so Microsoft says, okay, we'll advertise this game. Here's the deal. Like, let's say, how many millions of dollars? Let's say, I don't know what that millions of dollars is, $10 million. So that when we advertise this game, it says, on Xbox One. You know, the Xbox One logo comes up at the end of the ad, so everybody will just associate this game with the Xbox One. That's usually what these ads are, right? Is just trying to associate the two games or the two things together. But to actually make the game worse on the platform that the game is definitely going to sell better on because the install base is so much bigger, how does that make sense for Ubisoft? Like, I don't understand why they would do that. Where does the money come from? You know, because their decision has to be based financially. How big a check would Microsoft have to write for Assassin's Creed Unity to be 900p on the PS4? Like, well, it doesn't seem like a reasonable business decision to me.
It's a win-win for Ubisoft for the simple fact that people who own the PS4 and the Xbox One version of the game won't have any differences to compare.
So it's not a win-win because they lose out. If they could have put out a superior product on the PS4, which is going to be the lead platform going forward, I think we can all agree on that. You know, if they run the risk of pissing those customers off and not being able to sell, 5 million copies of Assassin's Creed Unity 2 or 3 or 4, that is the business decision.
So are you speculating that PS4 owners will be less likely to buy it because it's 900p, 30 frames versus what we conceive it as possibly being able to be on the console?
Not just that, I think they'll be less likely to buy any Ubisoft game in the future.
That's my thought process with Ubisoft after this. I'm not really big on Assassin's Creed anyway, so the game wasn't even on my radar. Mm-hmm. I've never really been big into the Assassin's Creed, the whole anthology. But the fact to me that they would actually dumb down the PS4 version, let me see underhanded tactics, and I'm the kind of person that says vote with your wallet. I will not support a developer who does that, but there are lots of people out there who love Assassin's Creed across all platforms. And they were probably more in the thought process of eliminating differences will make everyone feel content. If the PS4 and the Xbox One version are the same across both platforms, and nobody will be arguing, everybody will be getting the exact same thing, and everybody will be happy with a product that could have been better, but is still good. And so that's why I said to me, it seems like a win-win for them. They're going to sell it on the Xbox One. They're going to sell it on the PS4. Very few people will be able to argue back and forth about this game across platforms, and people are probably going to buy it on both platforms. There'll probably be a vocal minority of people like myself who would be less apt to buy or support the developer after doing something like this, but it's such a minute number that it probably won't affect their sales to that degree because of the following that Assassin's Creed has.
Yeah, you're right about that, because if you look at EA, I mean, EA has been pissing off gamers on a consistent basis for years now, and people still, jump at those games.
The games speak for themselves. Assassin's Creed has such a deep connection with so many gamers now. It was one of the first, last-gen games, and it changed the paradigm. People saw Assassin's Creed, me included, when I saw the first Assassin's Creed, I was like, shit. And so a lot of teenagers, that was their first, gaming experience, and it resonates with so many young gamers, Robbie's age and in that age group, that 900p, people aren't going to complain about it, I don't think, too much. People will probably be complaining more on the Xbox One version if the PS4 version, was running at 1080. Oh, man, this version sucks. But there won't be any of that. So they eliminated that whole argument. They gave the PS4 gamers a subpar experience, more than likely, but people are still going to buy it because it's still going to run well. It's still going to have a decent frame rate, and it'll be the same across both platforms. I just think it's going to sell. It's going to sell like it always does. And Ubisoft, this is a test. If this works, they're going to do that with all their games. They're going to lock them.
I think their test has got results already.
Yeah. It's going to be something that they do in the future, and if this works for them, it'll probably work with other developers who will, in their own, try to eliminate this whole conversation of resolution gate. PS4 is more powerful, but we never get to see it because developers are all doing what Ubisoft did now. Everybody's going to make a game 900p, 30 frames because not enough people complain when they did that with Assassin's Creed Unity. So that's just something.
Bungie got it up to 1080p on the Xbox One. I wonder how they did it.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the 3DS. They're not telling the secrets of how they did that because, I mean, if they shared it, more people will be able to use it. They're like one of the only developers that was able to do that.
Yeah.
And that's something I said when they first announced it actually be 1080p, I was like, what did they do? Did they summon a spirit to do this? Because nobody else is able to do it.
They summoned their magical fairy dust to rain down, and everything else just happened.
We're still in the first year of development for these consoles.
Yeah, we're still in the first year, but a year is still plenty enough time to I would think. I'm not a developer. I don't know as much as some of the guys on the show about developing video games, but it seems to me that a year, with hardware that you have for a year, will give you enough time to get that taken care of, or at least improve, frame rate or resolution. But it seems like every multi-plat consistently is running better on the PS4, and it seems like after a year that they would be able to minimize that issue at least, to the point where maybe half multi-plats are running 1080p on PS4 and 900p, to the point it is now. There's like 90% of the games that are multi-plats running better on the PS4, and it just seems like the hardware is the issue.
Frankly, it's a refreshing change. In years past, it's always seemed like the lower powered console has always gotten the best multi-plat for support. The PS2 got better support than the Xbox. You play the same game on the PS2, which was definitely like a less powerful console than the first Xbox, and the Xbox version looked like trash. The Xbox 360 and the PS3, the Xbox 360 ports always look better than the PS3 ports. It's like at least now, this generation, it seems like the PS4 is actually going to get superior.
The best of both worlds. Yeah.
Right, yeah. We'll see, though. I mean, it's still early.
Things can change.
Yeah, and I wouldn't write the Xbox One off yet. I mean, there's still a loyal following of Xbox fans. A lot of people are excited for Halo. A lot of people are excited for the next Gears of War. I think Mass Effect is coming multi-plat this time, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, I was reading an article last week on GameSpot that was talking about the possibility of Xbox One winning this thing at this point is very minute. I'm not counting them out either. But the way that it's looking, there hasn't been any slowdown in the trajectory of the PS4. Now, it'd be different if, they were coming full steam the way they've been coming, and maybe, in July or June, it just stopped or slowed down. But it doesn't seem to be any brakes on this train. And month after month, the PS4 is outselling the Xbox One. So not only would the Microsoft platform have to do a complete 180 and outsell the PS4, but they'd have to outsell them by so much every single month just to catch up.
Yeah, Sony did it last generation, so there's nothing keeping Microsoft from doing it this generation.
Yeah. Well, hardware might be. First-party titles might be. It's like everything. Sony has everything going for themselves this time, and it very seldom does that ever happen. Where a new console comes out and they have so much backing them, so much good versus the bad, and I think Sony they just outsmarted Microsoft with this console. They have a better made system with better hardware. They got a obviously better operating system to me. They got better games coming out because we know what Microsoft and Sony has to offer. They got a better controller, a less expensive console. They got so much going for themselves right now. That
I'll debate better controller. I would have agreed with you 3 months ago, but I've got 3 broken PlayStation 4 controllers sitting here. So better controller for the first 6 months, maybe.
See, I haven't had any problems with mine. I have 3 controllers that have no problems. So
I've never had any issue with my controller, Briar.
I got another new one right here.
Yeah. I've never had any issue with any of my controllers other than my 1-year-old chewing off the analogs, but I haven't heard too many people say the controllers are broken, but you do a lot more aggressive Call of Duty playing than the average player.
Well, let's be honest, I'm a goddamn beast.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Let's not lie to fact. Let's just not even lie about it.
All right. I can take that. You're hardcore on the first-person shooters, and I don't know if that played a part in breaking the controllers, but I haven't had any issues with mine. So
they just can't take my heat.
I don't think so.
So also, aside from Assassin's Creed, we got another game that has resolution issues in Dragon Age. What's the story with that?
Yeah, Dragon Age, they tweeted out that they are optimizing the game for both next-gen platforms, and the PS4 version will be running at 1080p, and the Xbox One version will be running at 900p. So here we go again. Ouch. It's like, a year later, like as you said, it's a year later, but they're still having the exact same issues they had a year ago. What have they learned in a year? They must have learned in a year that the Xbox One just can't it can't keep up with the PlayStation 4 when it comes to hardware, when it comes to the actual specs of the system, and it's reflecting on the product. And anybody, like, the only system I got to buy now is the Xbox One. That'll be something I'll get probably in December. But any multi-plat period now that comes out, I would be very apprehensive about getting it on the Xbox One when I know that chances are it'll perform better on the PS4. So my Xbox One
game I can think of that I'm going to do that for is Call of Duty.
Yeah, because they get the exclusive content. But
yeah.
For me, my Xbox One will be just for exclusives. I mean, the game that I'm looking forward to the most on the Xbox One is Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yeah, I am too.
That game looks awesome.
It does.
I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with the Halo Master Chief Collection because I love Halo. I've always loved Halo, and to have them all and all the multiplayer maps, I think that's almost like magic that you get all that for the price of one game. So games like that are what I'll probably be more than likely getting on my Xbox One. But when it comes to games like, games that run better, Call of Duty, Tomb Raiders, anything that comes across both platforms, I'm definitely going to get on my PS4 because the Xbox One, apparently, at this point anyway, can't keep up. And I don't think that firmware updates or patches are going to change the actual hardware that's inside the console because I think if they could have done that, they probably would have a long time ago. I just think that when they created this console, they thought that it was going to be closer in comparison to the PS4 until they both came out, and then they realized, oh shit, they threw some extra stuff in there that we don't have, and it's going to reflect in our actual games. But yeah, Dragon Age. Anybody buying Dragon Age who has a PS4 and the Xbox One is going to buy it on the PS4.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that it's going to look better and it's going to run better.
Why not?
So,
I'll be honest, my friends list is quickly developing on the PlayStation 4 as well. Just because I've spent so much time with Call of Duty this year on the PlayStation 4 and Dragon Age on the PlayStation 4 is not Dragon Age. I'm sorry.
That's I was gonna say you got that shit already?
No, with this man, on the PlayStation 4 is now my friends list is developing, and the core group of players that I've become friends with, and I want to actually in the next multiplayer game I'm going to want to team up with. They're on the PlayStation 4 now.
Yep.
So that makes a big difference. For Call of Duty is a tough one for me. I want the DLC a month earlier because I make YouTube videos, and I'm going to want to put that on my YouTube video. But when I actually am playing Call of Duty for my own enjoyment, I play on the PlayStation 4 because that's where my friends list is now, and I like the controller better when it's working.
And you said you think the netcode is actually better on the PS4 as well?
I don't know if it's the netcode or if it's just the fact that there's more players, but it's definitely less of a... There's less what the fuck was that moments, Like, why did I just stop moment?
that should be the name of a new thing on your channel. What the fuck moments.
Yeah. Now it's time for another episode of What the Fuck Moments. Call of Duty Ghosts.
I got a question, Brian. How many friends can you have in your friends list on the Xbox One?
I don't know. I think it's around 1,000 or maybe higher.
Okay, so you can have 2,000 friends on your PS4, and I know something you've said for a long time is you're going to go where your friends are.
Yeah.
If you have more friends on the PlayStation 4, then you'll probably be playing more on the PS4.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying. That may have been their intention. If you have more friends here, then you'll probably play where you have twice as many friends as you do on the other platform. And it may affect some people because, as you just said, you're slowly starting to shift paradigms from predominantly Xbox-centric network gaming to the PS4. That may be a part of the strategy.
Xbox Live was the first, social network that I really ever took part in. Playing with friends on Xbox Live and sending messages and, posting your little profile pic and all that stuff. That's the first social network that I actually took part in. And Facebook came after that for me. Twitter came after that for me. YouTube came after that for me. So don't get me wrong. I miss some of those people from my Xbox Live friends list. However, I've got new people now. I've got new friends. I've got somebody new in my life.
We understand, right?
Don't make me out to be like some kind of Xbox apologist. I'm just, I'm not ready to
Xbox fanboy, BriarRabbit.
I'm not ready to write Microsoft off. That's all I'm saying. Is they're a multi-billion-dollar...
Paid by Microsoft. Paid by Microsoft.
They're a multi-billion-dollar company.
I need to get Robbie saying that as a fucking ringtone. That would be so awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like when Dave calls you Xbox fanboy.
That'd be fucking awesome. So, moving on to other news, I see that Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and Sunset Overdrive have gone gold. And for people who don't know what that means, Briar, why don't you tell them what that means?
That means that the retail release of the game is ready to be printed on disc.
Yeah, game's done.
There's nothing else to do to the game besides take your money.
Well, don't worry. Don't forget about the day one update that you'll have to download.
Yeah, how many gigs is that going to be?
And day one DLC.
Yeah, I hear that the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on the Xbox One, the size of the download is 47 gigs.
Wow.
47 gigs. And, yeah, they were talking about it on IGN. I was watching a story on it yesterday. That's a lot of damn size for a game. When you consider you got a 500 gig hard drive, you put 10 of those on your hard drive, you're fucking done.
Yeah, I hope you can reload that because it's going to take all week.
Yeah, they were talking about it because, you know, the Xbox One, you can't install your own hard drive, but, you know, you can plug up external storage to it.
Yeah.
And like me, I got 8 terabytes sitting over there, so I'll be good to go. But for people who don't have that, and you got a couple of games, you've been buying games since release, that space is really dwindling. Man, 47 gigs.
That is huge.
Now, I know, Briar, you're the guy here that has every console. Are you getting both of these games?
Both Sunset Overdrive and Call of Duty? Yeah, I think so. I'm really looking forward to Sunset Overdrive. What that game looks like it does is offer like kind of distilled fun. Like it's just putting you in situation after situation where it's just going to be fun to be jumping around, shooting weapons at ridiculously oversized and ugly bad guys. It just looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. So they've sold me on that game by showing me the gameplay. I think at E3 when they had the gameplay trailer, and I was like, wow, that looks awesome. So yeah, I'm definitely getting that.
When I see Sunset Overdrive, it makes me think of, like, if I could combine 2 games, it would be like Left 4 Dead and Jet Set Radio.
Sure, yeah.
That's cool.
That would be like, that's a pretty awesome fucking combination, actually. But yeah, that's.
I also really like the Ratchet and Clank games. So those guys have that pedigree behind them.
Oh, I love Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I know that they can make fun games because I've played them. So I have every concept. The only thing that worries me about it is that I'm afraid that I won't be able to get into it because the main character has too much attitude. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get sick of that quick. Like, Infamous Second Son was like that for me. Like, the main character just got on my nerves.
Delson was a bitch.
Yeah. Arrogant. Yeah. Now, I know that there's tons of different characters you can choose from. Are they all the same character with just different skin? Or?
Oh, I didn't know that. So that's a bonus.
There's like tons of different people that you can actually be. I don't know if you're actually changing the way that the main character looks or if you're choosing different characters, but I hope so because, like you, I really don't. I'm arrogant from time to time. Like when I play like The Last of Us, I feel pretty arrogant because I fuck people up. But when it comes to just a game that you got to go through the entire time and listen to an arrogant character, especially if you don't have that temperament, it can be pretty annoying.
Yeah. I like games you get to create your own character. You know, all my characters I end up creating Beastly Gamer. And all Beastly Gamer's characters end up being women.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what happens.
That's like a perfect circle of life right there.
Hey, man, I'm one of those guys, man. I've said it for years. Like, if I play any video game I can play, and if I can choose a beautiful woman, not because I want to be a beautiful woman.
Or do you?
Shh. I like to look at beautiful women. You know, so if I could play a game and I'm behind this fine-ass woman while she runs around kicking ass all day, I'd rather be there than some big-ass dude, you know? That's just me. I'd rather look at a female. Check out my new banner on my YouTube channel. You see what I mean.
I haven't seen that yet.
I love the ladies.
Check it out right now.
What about you guys? You guys going to pick up Sunset? Are you guys going to pick up Call of Duty Advanced Warfare? I think
I'm going to have that day 1. Well, hold on. What day did it come? It's coming on the 3rd?
Yeah,
if you pre-order it's day 0. Yeah, you get on the 3rd if you pre-order it.
That day 0 thing is just, I mean, great. We get it a day early, but like, why don't you just say it's coming out on the 3rd then?
Well, it doesn't really matter to me because to me, day 0 doesn't start till damn midnight anyway. So I might as well get it the day out. I don't get home till fucking 1 o'clock.
It's gonna be a long.
I at this point in my gaming life, you know, I've graduated to the point where I don't think that I could pass up on a new Call of Duty experience. I mean, even if it turns out not to be as good as a lot of people are hoping it is, or a lot of people think it's not going to be, I like Call of Duty. I had a lot of fun with Ghost, and a lot of fun with Black Ops 2, a lot of fun with Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2. Even though some were better than others, each game has offered something a little bit different for me, different places, different weapons, different perks. And I think this one right here is probably going to change it up the most, so I'd be a fool not to have it day one. Just because of how much they changed it. They actually changed like everything, and it's still a Call of Duty game. So I think I want to be on the ground floor when this new type of experience comes. It's not like Black Ops 3 or something. It's you got jetpack, you got boost, you can strafe in the air, all this crazy stuff. You got dual perks where you can jump into a gunner ship with someone else and shoot down two people. I mean, it's all this new stuff. I feel like I don't want to miss out on that from day one. I got to be there, so I'll definitely have that. Definitely on my PS4. Without all the added content. Robbie's going to get it.
Yeah, I have Advanced Warfare pre-ordered, so I'll be playing at midnight, and I got it preloaded and ready to go. Well, not yet, but I'll have it preloaded by the time it comes out, so I'm looking forward to it. Version? Yeah, I pre-ordered it on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do the same thing. I have it pre-ordered at GameStop, but I think I might just cancel that pre-order and do it over the... That way, it's so much more convenient just to have it like ready to go. Not
like the moment it hits midnight, you just hit X and you're playing the game. That's awesome. I love that.
I gotta testify here, guys. BriarRabbit, you've been saying it for a long time, and I really am at heart a collector of video games. I like to collect and have something tangible in my hands. But I gotta say, you're absolutely right. Whenever I want to play Destiny, no matter what's in there, I just click on the Destiny icon, the game comes up. To me, it is kind of a magical experience.
Yeah.
I'm playing The Last of Us. I back out and just go straight to Destiny. I don't have to look for any discs. Just to have it on there, that is a huge convenience. It really is. No, it'll never be scratched. No one can ever break it. Nobody can steal it unless they steal my whole fucking system.
It works particularly good for a game that you're going to come back to time and time again over the course of a year. Mm-hmm. Like Call of Duty for me. Like if I go out and buy Tomb Raider, where I'm likely to play it for a week or a month, I'm going to buy the retail copy so I can go back to GameStop, trade it in for the next game I buy. I'm not going to do that for that kind of game. But for something that I'm playing for a while, it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, I think most of us will have it. Not Too Nerdy said he's going to get it day one. And he's not the first-person shooter fan. 9 to 5 is going to get it. He likes Battlefield more than anything else. But, of course, Battlefield got pushed back. Battlefield 4.2 got pushed all the way back. And so now he's going to be playing Call of Duty with us. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a weird thing to see, though. I want to know how much this pulls you away from Destiny, because I know you have a shitload of fun. Playing with you today, I was having more fun playing with you than playing the game, okay?
I went on a roll during the Iron Crucible.
Yes, you did.
I was talking.
you had 30. You had your KD was 10.6.
Whoa! Wow.
Yeah, he had 35 kills, man. I mean, he carried the whole damn team. It was awesome. He really did. He went fucking crazy on him. And just playing with people like Briar, man, it makes the game so much more enjoyable.
Briar's overpowered. That's all.
I want to see.
That's what I told the other
team. Overpowered.
I want to see just how much everybody was saying that today too. I want to see how much Call of Duty pulls you away from that, and I'm curious to see if you're going to have the same kind of fun with Call of Duty that you've been having with Destiny. Because
you know what I'm hoping is to have an epic struggle on a day-to-day basis of which
that's going to be awesome.
That would be great.
That's going to be awesome. Yeah. But yeah, we got some good stuff coming, guys, in the coming weeks. Until then, I'll probably be doing my Last of Us thing. That's my game. That's the one I can get in and usually wear people out. So
yeah,
that's what I'm probably going to be playing until Call of Duty comes in. I'll probably take a break from that and wait for a couple of weeks, see what Destiny has to offer. It's a great time to be a gamer. It really is.
Well, I want you to put a little time into Destiny so you could get into the raid with us.
Okay.
We could do like a Beastly Thoughts raid.
That would be awesome. Man, that would be sick. Watch the show first, then watch us do the raid.
Yeah, maybe do like a Sunday instead of the show. We live stream the raid.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
I'm down. I'm down. I'm gonna need you guys to help me get to 26 though. I'm a level and a half away.
Yeah, that'll be no problem. We can do that in a week.
Okay. What's coming up next on the news, guys? Robbie, what we got next?
Capcom. Yeah, from what I see. Yeah, Capcom.
Capcom.
Okay, so Capcom wants, in order to make a sequel, Capcom says that the original game needs to sell 2 million copies. You guys think that's reasonable? Do you think, is that how you build a franchise, by having instant success, or do you start with a slow burn and build something special out of that?
Well, sometimes games that aren't commercially successful end up being critically successful and then slowly building momentum.
Yeah, like what?
I can't say The Last of Us because people just fucking bought the hell out of that since it came out.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been many games with cult followings that just didn't. Deadly Premonition's one of them. For the Xbox 360, it was a game that was received very well critically, but commercially didn't do as well. And they ended up making I want to say director's cut, and they released it on the PS3. And the game is a very fun game. It has some great mechanics and awesome story, but it just didn't look as up to date graphically as some of the games coming out at that time. So it didn't sell as well, but it's still a great game. I don't know if 2 million is the right number to do that. I think it takes a little bit of time. They said no Darkstalkers. There will be no more. I mean, not Darkstalkers, but what is the name of it? That had Death. The big blue skeleton guy that was Death.
Oh yeah,
Darksiders.
Darksiders. He said that there won't be any Darksiders coming. I know that game was awesome. If you guys played Darksiders 1 and 2, which actually was really good.
They're really good games.
To me, that game was really fun. It had a great story, and the way that the mechanics worked, the controls worked, and to me it was awesome. That, to me, deserved a sequel, but it didn't sell enough in their eyes, and so they're saying that don't expect anything like that to be coming to the PS4 or the Xbox One because it didn't sell enough. I just think 2 million is kind of, I don't know if you want to put that number out there because so many games don't reach that. So many games that could benefit from having a sequel to push the brand forward, to push the story forward, and possibly get even more sales than the original. We'll never see it because they don't hit that 2 million mark. I mean, what are your thoughts on it, Brian? Do you think 2 million is a good number?
It sucks that they've kind of put this hard and fast rule on it. I hope they're willing to bend that rule if they think they may have a hit in the future. But I think the reality of game developing is probably that these games cost so much money now to make that it's just, especially for Capcom, who's I think in some difficulty financially.
Going under.
Yeah, I think that they're risk averse right now. Is that hey, if we only sell 1.9 of these, then we should be happy we got that. And if we're only expected to sell 1.5 of the sequel, and it's going to cost the same amount to develop, then we're out. I don't know. It's sad. I think it's sad, but I think it's part of. Games cost a lot of money to make now because they just are so detailed, and gamers are very, very detail oriented.
Yeah.
Pause.
Very detail-oriented.
I mean, it's you can't slip one by gamers these days. Alien Isolation, by all accounts, is a good game, but it's getting ripped apart because it looks like it was a great game that got artificially spread out for an extra 10 hours, and that extra 10 hours is just awful.
I heard. Yeah.
Ryan McCaffrey is getting destroyed on his review, by the way, just to let you guys know.
He's getting pooped on by the entire internet community.
People hate Ryan McCaffrey. I always disliked him because he looks like an Xbox avatar, but he's actually getting destroyed by the gaming community for reviewing that game, and I think he gave a respectable review of it. I haven't played it. It's something I actually look forward to playing because I like games in that ilk, amnesia-type experiences. But from what I understand, the game is super long. I mean, 20 hours.
Yeah.
And they're saying the last 10 hours actually didn't even need to be in the game at all. So
right.
I can totally understand that. Totally.
Yeah, but a lot of people are saying that even so, the first 10 hours are so good that it's worth playing.
I think Capcom should just hire Naughty Dog and make sequels for every game that they create.
That ain't happening anytime soon.
Wasn't there supposed to be more Last of Us DLC? Am I crazy?
It came out.
Supposed to be one more multiplayer pack? I don't know.
It's out.
Oh, it's just multiplayer packs. We're not getting any more story DLC.
No. I don't think they're going to do any more story for the original game. I'm hoping that they're pulling all their story creativity into the next one.
Because that was really good.
A lot of people think that there won't be a next game. I'm willing to bet both of my kidneys that Part 2 is in the works for sure. A game like that.
Not lose.
Yeah. Well, if it doesn't, just let me know and I'll do the last show with you guys. But.
Live from Beastly's dialysis machine,
live from the hospital.
Hurt. Yeah, I think that game is definitely coming. A game that's that commercially successful and critically successful. Name the last time a game like this has come out and they didn't do a sequel. Just tell me one. A game that was received so well, has sold so many copies, and it has gotten 10s across the board and nominated for Game of the Year over 200 times and didn't get a sequel. It just
Super Mario 3.
Get the hell out of here, man.
Never a sequel. There's no Super Mario 4.
Oh, cheap cop-out.
Oh, my God. That's so fucking stupid. He's absolutely right, too. Super Mario World doesn't count. Yeah, you're damn right. But it's definitely getting a sequel. I think they're pulling all their resources into that. I'm super excited to see what that's going to be. I know this is off the subject of what's in the news, but can you imagine what that's going to be? It's so much they can do. They can age Ellie. She can get older.
You think they'll stick with Ellie?
They could. They don't necessarily have to. If they don't stick with Ellie, then the story will have no resolution. It'll just be a survival tale. If they don't stick with Ellie.
Still happening, or did that kind of fall out of the news cycle?
Did what happen?
The movie thing? Like they were talking about making a movie.
Oh, it's in the works. Neil Druckmann is working with not Spielberg, but the guy behind The Evil Dead. What's his name? Sam Raimi. Oh. Sam Raimi is working together. Neil Druckmann is writing the script, the guy who actually wrote the script for The Last of Us. And it's going to be. I never watched. What's that dragon show that comes out? It's on. What's the big dragon show that everybody watches now?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. There's a girl in there.
Game of Thrones.
I never watched an episode in my life.
What the fuck? You have a 6-foot-long sword behind you.
Hey. I paid a lot of kills.
I haven't seen it either, but.
What the?
There's a girl in Game of Thrones who they're in talks with for her playing Ellie. It's a young girl with brunette hair. She does look a lot like Ellie. Yeah, she has big eyes or ass.
Eyes.
Yeah, I
said eyes.
I wonder why I heard ass. I was like, maybe I do need to watch this show. Yeah,
there's plenty of that
too. They're in talks with her to do Ellie. She looks a lot like Ellie, and Neil Druckmann is writing the story of the game.
Yeah.
So
her name's Macy Williams, and she looks exactly like Ellie. Very similar.
Okay. And now that I'm looking at you, Robbie, you look kind of like Kiefer Sutherland. Do that again. Okay. So at any rate, the Last of Us movie is definitely in the works. I'm super excited about it. I'm cautiously optimistic because very seldom do video games, games translated into movies very seldom work. Very seldom will they please the audience. They never please the gamer. And usually, like with the Resident Evil movies, they'll please a whole new audience of people who never saw the game. So
yeah,
hopefully,
that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a whole group of people who defend those crappy-ass movies.
I thought the first one was pretty good. I'll be honest with you.
The first one was all right.
Yeah.
I saw the first one in theaters because I was like, okay, there is the mansion, but they're underground and underneath the mansion, so maybe they're just playing on it. And then they totally created Alice out of Willy Wonka's ass, this new character that can separate and regenerate and fly. Get the hell out of here! But
and then every movie from there on out sucked a bag of dicks. Wasn't very good.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
It was worse than Pepsi.
Sucked more dicks than Pepsi did.
But with The Last of Us, they could either continue on the story of Joel and Ellie, where Ellie gets older and maybe finds her a mate, or they could go on to someone else's story, kind of like the way that Telltale did with the Walking Dead game, where they're telling a whole new story in that world. But if they do that, it'll just be a survival story, because at least with Ellie's story, there was a possibility of repair. I said that in a way for people who've never played the game, they don't know what's going on. But in the original game, the story was more about resolution than survival. It was a survival-centered experience, but you knew the end game was resolution for this situation to be resolved. And for them to take Ellie out of the equation totally, they would have to totally make a whole new story, and the game would be just survival until the end of the game, because there wouldn't be any resolution because there's no Ellie. So I think either way would be, good for the gamer. But I personally would like to see Joel and Ellie continue on with their story, because I grew so attached to them.
Yeah.
I could talk about The Last of Us all day.
Yeah, I know.
We know that.
Yes.
We already know that.
Yes.
So I was all ready on Tuesday to play some Drive Club. I booted up my PlayStation 4. I'm ready to download that shit. Not Too Nerdy had issued some personal challenges that I was ready to defend all our honor.
Here we go.
I was about ready to bust out some Drive Clubbing. And lo and behold, without any prior notice that I could find, Drive Club for PS Plus was delayed.
Yeah.
Was that because the game sucked so bad they didn't want anybody to find out when they played the demo?
Well, the PlayStation Plus version it wasn't a demo. It has every mode totally unlocked. You get 11 cars and 10 tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And other than the cars and the tracks, you get the entire experience.
Mm-hmm.
And when I found this out, I tried to download the day of. Then the following day I tried again, and I was like, what's going on? And Kate went online. Of course, my video game century, she found the article where they delayed it because they feel like the networks would be burdened too much for people who actually played the game.
Yeah.
That the servers would be overrun with all these PlayStation Plus users. So they decided to delay it into an unspecified date, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Because I haven't seen them say, we're going to delay it for 3 days, we're going to delay it for a week. Nothing. Only that we're going to delay it. Please bear with us, which is bullshit. And I got to say, Sony really pissed me off there. For Sony to be doing things so well and to be, so transparent with their consumers, and then to let something like this happen takes them 10 steps backwards to me. I was really frustrated about it. I think it's underhanded tactics. I think it's tacky for them to do something like that because this game's been promised for so long. Mm-hmm. Not only was it delayed for a year.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a launch game.
Yeah, they delayed it for a year, and then when the game finally comes out,
bundle. Remember that?
Yeah. They delay it for a year, and then when the game finally comes out, an underhanded tactic the day of release, where every PlayStation Plus gamer is getting ready to download it. Oh, we didn't mention this before, but fuck you all. Wait till we tell you you can have it.
I'm pretty sure that was their wording in the press release.
Yep, yeah, fuck you all. That's all they said. I'm out.
Drop this mic.
Microphone.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really Sony. I mean, when you do everything right and then you turn around and you allow something so tacky to happen, to me it's bad management, it's bad consumer relations, it's bad in every way possible. The game's not going to sell good anyway. Everybody who's played it said it's a mediocre experience. It just happens to look good.
And it's running up against Forza Horizon 2, which everybody's saying is awesome.
Everybody says Forza Horizon 2 is the best racing game of all time. That's what I'm hearing from everybody.
That's strong words, but okay.
Well, that's what I'm hearing. I mean, I'm talking about reviewers around.
Anybody who says this has never played Burnout Paradise.
Burnout. I mean, you're going to say Burnout. Actually, they mentioned Burnout Paradise on a podcast I listened to on IGN. It wasn't. No, it was Podcast Unlocked. Yeah, they mentioned it when they were talking about Burnout. When they were talking about Forza Horizon, and they said that they think Forza is actually better. I haven't played it myself. I played Burnout. I haven't played Forza, but everybody who's played it said it's a phenomenal game.
Can I crash my car through billboards?
It all depends on how much weed you smoked. That was a billboard? Hold on, I thought that was a car. I think that Drive Club it's going to suffer a fate now that's worse than it would have if they had given it out for free the first day.
Yeah, Drive Club is screwed at this point. It's got no chance. It's past.
I mean, the thing is that people who may have supported it are already now in a negative disposition because I was supposed to get this a day of. Mm-hmm. If it's an okay game, I'll support Sony, because I'm a Sony gamer.
It did get its retail release, though, right? You can go buy it.
You could have bought it.
You can't play it online.
Oh, you can't play it online.
The servers are completely offline. No one's been able to access online. So, as well as the PlayStation Plus version getting delayed, the full retail version doesn't work.
Wow.
Shit.
So, yeah, they really screwed up.
Did the Battlefield developer have anything to do with this game?
Yeah, DICE did develop it. You're right.
DICE be rolling the dice. Yeah, I think it's sad. If you work on a game for as long as you have a game like Drive Club, and then you delay it for a year, and you have hope and optimism for the possibility of the future of the game, and then this happens, you basically just take a big cucumber and shove it up your ass. You're fucked. There's really nothing you can do. It's a lost cause at this point. I'm not even looking forward to it anymore. I mean, to me, it's like free download. Sure, I'll take it, but the optimism of what could possibly be there has died down.
You killed the excitement. Yeah, it's screwed at this point.
It is what it is. And were you guys looking forward to it, Drive Club, at all?
No.
I was looking forward to the free version. I was excited.
Are you sure you're not black?
Well, yeah, but I haven't played a good racer in quite a while, so I was like, hey, I'll give it a shot, but then it was delayed. Everyone on Twitter, it blew up. Everyone was asking, where the hell is Drive Club? They were tweeting Sony, where's Drive Club? Where's Drive Club? They didn't respond at all. Ever since then, it's been so quiet, so dark, who the hell knows what's going on with that? It's a mess.
I know Shuhei Yoshida has a lot to answer to right now because I know people like to talk to him. He's the face of the company, so he's got a lot of shit coming his way. I'm not the biggest racing fan. I like more kart racers, Mario Kart. I love that kind of stuff. And Sims, I bought the Gran Turismos as they came out because they were the best looking racing sim, and I like to buy them just to drive around.
Graphics whore. Graphics whore.
I'm gonna say this
for the PlayStation 1, Gran Turismo, which got simultaneously released with the dual stick controller for PlayStation. I played that game religiously. I actually completed a 6-hour race one time in that game. I 99. There was a bug in that game where you couldn't actually 100% it, but I did have 99.99% complete in that game. And then Gran Turismo 2, same deal. But since then, I have not been able to really get into a racing game unless it offers something that's just somewhat over the top. Because I just got burnt out on the Sim Racer at that point. So now it's Burnout. Yeah, it's got to be Burnout or it's got to be Need for Speed. It's got to be over the top, I can't. Yeah. I've bought Forza games, and I've just been like, okay, this is the same basic experience as playing those old Gran Turismo games. It looks a lot better. The physics are better, but I'm still sim racing, and I'm just kind of bored with it.
Yeah. To me, any sim gets boring for me. I mean, it could be a simulation of anything. If it's a simulation of reality, I'd rather just go fucking stand on the side of the expressway and watch the cars go by. I want to have an experience.
Spraying hot loads of lead into enemies' faces on a daily basis.
Spray some other loads too.
For me, I'd rather play an arcade racer or some kind of kart racer. Hi, Jan.
Everybody says hi, Jan.
Hey, Jan.
Hi, Jan.
I brought cookies.
Oh, I got a cookie delivery.
Fresh out of the oven.
Thanks, son.
Oh my God, Kate, you better get on your shit.
Step it up, wife.
All right,
Mom, I need some cookies.
Send me one through the messaging, bro.
I'll email you a cookie.
Me too. I am the Canadian natural.
So, what do you guys think is a reasonable time until they get this thing fixed? A week, 2 weeks until everybody's playing Drive Club? Because it's coming, and Robbie and I, we're the black guys here. We like free shit.
Yeah, obviously I am black, as you can tell.
Word up. Yeah, so I'm thinking, for me, a reasonable time, no more than 2 weeks. You guys think? Do you think 2 weeks is pushing it, or do you think that's reasonable? You think a week is reasonable? What do you guys think?
I thought they would have had it fixed by this week, but seems not.
I was thinking when I first heard it was maybe 2 days, 3 days to get a network issue taken care of. Come on, you got professionals that work on this kind of stuff.
A week at maximum.
It took 8 months to get Battlefield 4 up and running.
Yeah, they sure did. It took probably longer than that. Shit. Yeah.
Sims. Was it not Sims? SimCity. It was about that long too. It was a year before they got that working, right?
But you gotta ask yourself, what are they doing this whole time up until the release? Are they not checking?
Back of decks.
Whole bag.
My guess is that they were just forced to release it. The money ran out. We're not dealing with you guys anymore. Put this game out. Are you ever gonna put this game out or what? It was due a year ago. We had boxes printed with your logo on them because it was supposed to be a pack-in deal. it's time to put up or shut up, and they could not put up.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have released the game at all. They should have just
They
canceled
needed a
it.
paycheck. That's the only reason they released it.
Yeah, that's my guess. And probably Sony figured that out and said, well, we can't put this on the PlayStation Network. This is junk.
I mean, I feel like if you're going to delay a game, I think you should delay a game the right way, kind of like the way they did with The Last Guardian. You know, Sony is diligently working on The Last Guardian, guys. This article is on GameSpot.com. But I was reading this, and instead of releasing a fucked up product, hold it until you know what's going on. And just for the people like myself who are super into Team Eco games, PlayStation Worldwide Studios Shuhei Yoshida said in the latest issue of Famitsu that they are working diligently on the game, and please look forward to it. And that he said the development couldn't be better right now. So
They've said that for 5 years. Like,
hey,
no,
don't shoot the messenger, brother. We're working together here. I'm just telling the people in the world who, like me, may enjoy Team Eco games. To me, the Shadow of the Colossus, is one of my favorite games of all time. I think that The Last Guardian, I don't give a damn how long it takes. If it's in that same vein of gameplay, I don't care. I'll be 45, 55. Arthritis setting in, I don't care. This is an experience I want. As long as they don't shelve it and table it for good and they're still working on it, I'm happy to hear it.
Absolutely.
Even if it takes another year, I don't care. I mean, what am I missing? I can't miss what I haven't played. I'm playing other shit. So until the game comes out, we've got other things to fill that void.
Hopefully it does see the light of day one day.
Yeah, well, I mean, for Shuhei Yoshida to say that right now, this article came up, yesterday? For him to say that now, is he knows that there's going to be some fervor around that subject now that he's actually openly spoken on it. He said development's going good, look forward to the game coming out. I'm hoping he wouldn't say, okay, another 5 years, look forward to it coming out. It means that they're working on it. It came out originally on PS3. They had to go in and change everything and up it to a next-generation console. And there's so much work that goes into Team Eco games. And I mean, they say so much without even saying it. These games, they actually tell a story without telling you shit. You don't know what's going on, but at the end of the game, you're like, oh, it was an amazing experience. The story was awesome. If they can keep with that type of experience with The Last Guardian, it might be one of the best games ever, because Eco, to me, is one of the best games I played. And those cookies are bomb. What does she make, Brian?
No, you just said a game that hasn't even been shown could be one of the best games ever.
It's true.
Wow.
I mean, well, they have a pedigree that that speaks for itself. Eco was their first really big title, and it took the tag-along system to a whole another level, and you felt it was an emotional experience. Very few games for me do that. And then Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, without saying anything, I felt emotionally connected to the Wanderer and to this princess he laid on the table, and I felt bad about the Colossus I was killing. It just brought me into the experience. I felt bad. They'd fall down all slow, and I just they weren't doing anything, but mind their own fucking business. Then I come up with this damn bow and arrow and fuck their whole day up.
I murdered those big ugly bastards without shedding a tear.
I didn't shed a tear, but I
even ate them.
God damn.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Tasted like chicken.
Team Eco is a very talented group of video game developers, and this game better be one of the best games ever because it took them 45 years to fucking make it.
It better just come out, really, at this point.
Well, we all know that development time equals success. The longer you develop a game for, the better off you are. Look at Duke Nukem. Look at Project Titan from. I mean, all of these huge successes you have after these extended time.
Well, I would hope that somebody gets it right. I think that if the game wasn't going in the right direction by now, they probably would have scrapped it. I would hope. Hopefully, they don't release a half-assed product because they've never done that before. And if I was the lead of a development studio like Team Eco, my pedigree would be this: we made this before. These games were awesome, and we're going to keep it streamlined there. This is going to be as good as the previous games, if not better. We got new hardware. Until it's right, it's going to stay right here. We're not going to leak shit. We're going to work hard on it until we feel confident that when it's released, it's going to blow minds. And I'm thinking that's probably what they're doing because they're extremely quiet about the development of this game. We already seen images of what the initial project was going to be like, and it looked entertaining. You know, you got this giant wolf dog or that fucking thing from the Neverending Story, Falcor, with you. It looked like, yeah, that thing was scary as hell. I was like, am I supposed to cry or laugh? This thing is terrible. But it looked like a new dynamic of the tag-along system, but you got this giant giant dog dragon with you, and it looked awesome. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. And I think that like Drive Club should have learned something from that. If you're going to delay something, fucking delay it until it's right. If it's already delayed, I mean, I've heard Briar say this. I've heard other people say it. A bad game is bad forever, but a delayed game is only bad once till you fucking bring it out. Yeah. You know, don't release a product that's fucked up. First impression is the lasting impression. If you're going to delay something, fucking delay it. Say, hey, look, it's delayed till we get this shit right. They need to just hire me to speak. Hi, guys, this is Beastly Gamer from SCEA. This game's been delayed until the shit is right. We'll see you guys next week. Shit.
Next week when the game's released.
I'm going to tell them the same shit next week. You know, you gotta keep it real with the gamers. I think people respect honesty rather than we're going to see about getting it out to you guys next. No, man. If it's not right, we're not going to release it. And that's just my thoughts on it. Ooh, guys, moving on to other news. Briar, you seem like the right guy to talk about this Destiny news.
Okay, so Destiny may be the most popular game on the internet right now. Well, except for Minecraft. Oh. Apparently, this was released by Bungie. Destiny averages 3.2 million players every day.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's a lot of players every day. You got to figure there's a lot of people that don't play every day, right? That's the average. Now, I wonder if that's on a downslope, or if it's been pretty steady. They don't really give any kind of graphs. The average Destiny player also logs into the game 1.8 times a day. I can attest to that. Has played Destiny 20.9 times total, which seems low, doesn't it? Although the game's only a month old, so.
Well, when you take into consideration, they say that the average gamer, the game session lasts for 3 hours. So if the average game session lasts for 3 hours, and you take into account that 20 times, you're looking at 60 hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So I mean, the 20 times they're actually playing might seem short, but if you got 23-hour sessions, that's a long ass time, and that's your money's worth right there. Period. Mm-hmm. I feel like I played the game for 30 hours, and I haven't played nearly as long as you guys. You guys are at 100 hours. But for me, 30 hours in a game that I paid $60 for is my money's worth. I'll never complain and say that I didn't get my money's worth out of it right now because I put in so many hours. I haven't done anything that necessarily made me bored. I just feel like I don't want to get to that point. But shit, 100 hours, 60 hours, 50 hours, that's your money's worth. I think it's awesome. And we take into consideration 3.2 million gamers a day are playing, that's consoles. People are used to hearing these numbers on PC. Dota, these games are getting, 30, 40, 50 million gamers per day because so many people have PCs. But we take into account these are all console gamers and they're all playing it. That's phenomenal. It's big numbers.
It is big numbers. And I don't know, it feels popular because my friend list a month in is all Destiny. There's a couple of people on there who have gone back to Call of Duty Ghosts. There's a couple of people who've moved on to a couple of the sports games that have come out. Shadow of Mordor caused a really brief blip. But really, everybody's on there playing Destiny.
Have you gotten into Shadow of Mordor at all since last week? I watched some reviews of it and listened to some gameplay commentaries on the game.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying that's like the sleeper hit, best game. Well, I know IGN gave it Game of the Month. Yeah. But everybody on YouTube is saying that's the game that pulled them away from Destiny. It's just so sick.
So if you look at screenshots of this game, it looks like every other open world game except this one's got Lord of the Rings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once you start to play it and you start to understand what this Nemesis system is doing, it's an unbelievably complex and new idea that you almost can't believe isn't in every game because it's so good. I will say, other than that, the combat is phenomenal. If you like the Batman Arkham games, like the combat in that,
Love those games.
Yeah, the combat is just like that. So if you like that, then it's awesome. I mean, it's just a phenomenal game. I played it a little bit since last week's show, but not a lot because I've just been. Honestly, Destiny has just sucked me in so hard and there's no reason I can't just go back to Shadow of Mordor. You know, it's not like Destiny where eventually
it'll always be there. Yeah.
Right, it'll always be there. It's a single-player experience. It's not a multiplayer experience. So there's no real reason that I have to play it right this second.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, the single-player experience is not going to change. Destiny is constantly evolving, and you're there at the ground floor watching the evolution of what Destiny is. So, of course, that excitement will keep you, coming back to Destiny, I guess, a lot faster than it would Mordor because the game is what the game is. The Last of Us story will never change. So if you got a game that's constantly evolving, you get a new experience every time you're playing, and you're a predominantly multiplayer gamer like you, Mr. Rabbit, yeah, it'll pull you straight back into that experience.
Yeah, that's just how I am. I like multiplayer games more than I like single-player games. A single-player game has to offer something really phenomenal. Something like Last of Us, something like, Shadow of Mordor is phenomenal, but I just prefer playing with and fighting against like real human beings. It's just more fun to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I fixed that comment there too, Mr. Rabbit. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens with Destiny in the future. Today I had a damn good time, and as a matter of fact, if you're going to be on, let me know because I'll jump on in there and play with you.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think it was pre-show, maybe it was during the show. When you're playing with people you don't know and people, on PS4 are not talking and you can't really communicate, it drains some of the fun out of the experience.
Yeah. Especially, I find that with the Crucible, this is true with any objective-based game modes, but this week in particular, with the Iron Banner, it's all been that control game mode, which I think is a brilliant game mode, blending the points of like a domination-style game mode and the team deathmatch game mode together. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a lot of fun. But when you're in a group of people talking, cracking jokes, talking about, all right, who's going to A, who's going to B, they're at C, it just makes it ultimately more exciting, But, I mean, that's true in Call of Duty, too. It's true in any game. Tennis is a hell of a lot more fun when you're playing it against somebody else.
Yeah, I love the multiplayer.
You can't play that game alone, actually. Tennis. It doesn't work.
Swing. Oh, it's over.
That is so fucking stupid. Oh my god. I got a question for you guys. Have you guys checked out any of the PlayStation Plus offerings this month?
Yep. I downloaded Dust and Spelunky. Love and Dust. That game is awesome.
Yes, it is. Tell me you played Dust in Elysium Tale.
It's really good.
Sorry, Dust?
It's Dust. That's the character's name. It's called Dust. I did a video on it. Yeah. Dust and Elysium Tale.
Oh, yeah, I did play that, yeah.
That game is fucking sick. It really is fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. A lot of fun.
And Spelunky was available. Dust, Spelunky, and Drive Club didn't come out. So we still got two PS4 games, which actually worked out pretty well because Sony's new addendum is they give you two PS4 games, two PS3 games, and two Vita games. So we still got two across each platform. They just reneged on Drive Club, so it actually worked out pretty good. What other stuff was available this month? I'm trying to think. Batman Arkham Asylum, correct?
Yeah, on PS3, which is odd because it's old, but whatever.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's old, but there's a lot of people who haven't played it. And Dungeons and Dragons, Chronicles of Mystara. Have you guys tried that?
No.
It's an arcade for the PS3, and it has two Dungeons and Dragons arcade games built into it. And that's something that we can all play online as well. So I just love PlayStation Plus, man. I should be the PlayStation Plus, spokesman. I think that what Sony's doing is changing the system of video games in the future. It's such a good value. 72.
It is such an insanely good value. How many games you get each month? If you think the $50 you pay for a year for 2 games on each platform every month, 12 months a year, that is insane value. Like that's incredible.
72 games a year, and these are games that half of the games we would have never even bought. At least half. probably 75% of the games we get on PlayStation Plus, we wouldn't have wasted our money on. And I just think that the value it's ridiculous value for the pittance that you're paying, and I just love it. I think that's the best subscription service I have next to Netflix. To me, that's
absolutely, yeah.
It's insanely, it's just awesome. I love Sony for it.
If you don't have PlayStation Plus, go buy it. It is awesome. Just go buy it.
Really
You're missing out on so much. Yeah.
I never had the first time I had PlayStation Plus was the day I bought my PS4, and boy, do I feel like a dickhead now. Well, let me just say this. Before the PS4 was released, PlayStation Plus was a lot different than it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would get it was a mixed bag. They would either give you like 2 or 3 PS3 games and maybe 1 Vita game. They changed it up every month. It wasn't as structured as it is now. I think that the fact that it's so structured now, almost every game that's, especially Vita, because Vita has I think like 200 games in its library. Pretty soon you're going to have half of those games. 2 years you'll have at least half of the Vita games.
Yeah,
at some point in time, you
want to play on that damn thing.
Yeah, every couple of months you're getting something really fun on Vita. Same thing with PS4. I look at my PS4. My I guess cross media bar is what we call it, and there's like 20 games that I never paid for. That full game experiences that I own because of PlayStation Plus. They gave me a PlayStation 4 library. They actually gave me when people come over, it's not like I pull out, In the Second Son or Battlefield or Call of Duty. It's a nice, meaty selection of games that I can show them right there, at the cross media bar and pick out one of those. And it's all PlayStation Plus stuff. And I just think PlayStation Plus is just the best gaming value that's available today. It's sick.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a really good value.
And if you haven't played Pixel Junk Monsters, please play it. Because I need people to play online with me. It's a very fun game.
Oh, it's a multiplayer game?
Yeah, you can play multiplayer. I
didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah, on PS Vita you can play multiplayer. PS3 you can play multiplayer. Or you can play split screen. I mean, not split screen, but you can play together on the same screen on the PS3 version.
Right.
So it's a really fun experience. I think you guys should try it. Play with me.
Sounds good.
I'm tired of playing with myself.
Oh, how can you ever get tired of that?
You're damn right. All right.
I don't get bored of that.
Closing the
That's
door,
a different
you mean?
story. Yeah. I'm gonna go close the door, guys.
Oh man. For those Minecraft fans out there, which I know there's millions and millions of Minecraft fans, and I'm a noob to Minecraft, but I haven't played it this week. I got to be honest. Minecraft PlayStation Vita has been given a release date, and that release date is October the 15th.
Yep, Tuesday.
So it will be available. Thank you, Microsoft. Thank you. I must say thank you for not sticking it to the PlayStation gamers and keeping this game across platforms. I think it would have been a huge disservice to people who are just getting into the game and really, for the first time, experiencing it, like myself. If Microsoft said, "Fuck you, we own this bitch."
Will it be crossplay? Will your Minecraft world transfer over from your PS4 and back and forth?
This is what they did with the PS3, and I'm pretty sure they're working on it because it frustrated me a little bit. Your PS3 version, as of right now, you can port your PS3 world to the PS4, but you're unable, as far as I've tried, to port it back.
You can't do it the other way. Yeah, it's only one way.
So I got a PS3 in here, and I got one in my room, and Nova's got one, and my boys got one, but I can't play my PS4 version and port it back to the PS3 and go in my room and finish up. And that's one thing that's frustrating. And I think that they're doing something similar where you can port your PS3 game to the Vita, but since the Vita is always on the go, I'm hoping you're able to port that back. So I'm hoping that they build some new network infrastructure that allows you to just move your world from console to console on the fly and not just up it from the PS3 to the PS4.
But the reason they can't do that is because the PlayStation 4 version is so much larger than the PS3 and Vita version. The world is, I think, 36 times larger, so it's physically impossible. They can't do that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the reason why. It's just too big.
Oh.
That's what she said.
I'm used to hearing that all the time.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's just too big.
If you guys didn't know, me personally, I love video game soundtracks, and actually one of my favorite singers, my favorite singer of all time is Utada Hikaru. She sings the theme song to the Kingdom Hearts games. and I'm really into video game soundtracks and stuff like that. But Minecraft has an incredible soundtrack. I know, Briar, you've heard it a million times. But that's something that I find myself listening to driving to work or on break and just relaxing. It's very relaxing music, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
A more foreign concept you could not possibly introduce to me is actually choosing to listen to the Minecraft soundtrack. It is literally getting to the point where it's like having like the same song has been playing in this house for 3 years. Like, that is what's happening, you know?
It's called...
Now they've added fucking cats to the game, right? So every once in a while I hear, meow. I'm like... meow.
Oh, shit. I don't think that they've added that to the PS4 version just yet, but there's this track called Aria Math. And I think it's like the most peaceful, awesome track I've ever listened to. It's awesome. But yeah.
Give it another 200 hours, and we'll see where you're at with that.
I don't think I'll ever get that far into it. I think the most I'll ever probably spend on Minecraft, maybe at this point, the way I'm playing it, I might luckily one day hit 20 hours. But I don't think I can dedicate all my time to it with all this other stuff going on in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are enjoying the Beastly Thoughts show today. Thanks to everybody for coming and watch us and just watch us bullshit and talk about video games.
Yeah.
Hope we do every Sunday. This is a very important part of my life, and it makes me feel
One of
good.
my favorite parts of the week.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of the week. It's coming here to Beastly Thoughts. It's awesome.
I'll tell you what. I want to play some Destiny.
Sounds good to me.
Wait, we got to do an impossible question to end the show.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Give me talk amongst yourselves, and I'll figure one out.
Okay.
Okay. So, what do you think, Robbie? Vaseline or Jergens?
What? I have no idea what either of those are.
I'm asking you questions that a 17-year-old would know very well. Come on.
Vaseline and.
All right.
Yeah, I have no idea. Don't put some pressure on me like that. Come on.
You should just be lucky I didn't say gasoline. All right. Good stuff. Good answer. Do we have anybody in the comment section today? I know there was a couple of people I was talking to earlier who wanted to watch us live.
Maybe they have some questions. I don't know. I'll take a look right now.
Oh. You guys are hanging with us. Just bear with us. We're just here. We're breathing.
Just sitting here breathing, as always. Staying alive.
Saturday Night Fever. Sing it.
It's what is Xlon's? I think that's his name. What would you guys play Titanfall more if they released like a massive gun pack? So he's saying about like the lack of content, obviously in Titanfall, it didn't have enough to hold people's attention. But with more weapons, would it maybe have lasted a little longer if they had that at launch?
I think it would have lasted longer if they had more weapons, more ways to customize your Titan, like just more content overall. I thought the maps were pretty good. I thought the gameplay was really fun. But yeah, I mean, it just didn't have a long tail because there just wasn't enough there.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'll tell you what, I feel like Destiny has kind of changed the paradigm for me for multiplayer shooters.
Mm-hmm.
Just because a lot of people are pissed at Destiny for not having a story, but what I see in Destiny is the shooter I've played that has the most content ever. You know, it's like there's so much to do in this game. You know, if you just think of it like a multiplayer shooter, it's just there's more content than anything else I've ever played. I guess it's a different mindset, but I mean, right now, traditional games like Call of Duty or Titanfall have a tough road to climb for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think at this point it's feasible for a person like me who's probably going to be grabbing an Xbox One in the coming weeks to pick up Titanfall? You think that ship has already sailed? It's over.
I mean, people are still playing it. You can still check it out. I think it's worth checking out. At this point, I might wait for Titanfall 2.
Yeah. Oh, see, I think it would be hard to find a match at this point, but...
Is it hard? I haven't actually logged into it in probably a month or two.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've heard it's pretty much dead, so you could try, but...
Damn. I can maybe find a guy with a coat. Hey, man, you on Titanfall $10. Cool. I'll take
I mean, I loved the game for what
I know
it
you
was.
did. It kind of blew my mind. I was thinking initially that Destiny was going to be the same way, but I already see that you're playing this and enjoying this a lot more than you did Titanfall.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when you first started playing Titanfall, you didn't have enough good to say about it. You just, the game got tons of accolades, and I wasn't playing it, so I wasn't 100% in the mode with you. But from all your videos and all you talked about on the show was how much fun you're having, and then all of a sudden, it's like one week you loved it, and the next week there was nothing said about it. And I was like, okay, maybe Titanfall's wrong. And everybody felt that way. Marco said the same thing.
Yeah. It's kind of sad that way, isn't it?
Well, it's evolution. That's why all these games. Who said it was a year of jumping shooters? Because
the kangaroo shooter. I made a video.
The kangaroo shooter. This is the year of it, and I think everybody's kind of took that shit from Titanfall because everybody loved that new mechanic, and now everybody's incorporating it into. I can't wait till Medal of Honor meets Jumping Flash comes out. But everybody's doing that. It's like the evolution of what people consider fun, and Titanfall 2 will probably be, in its own way, revolutionizing this whole genre again because it's evident that Titanfall had its own part to play in the evolution of what Destiny is and what Call of Duty is. The whole moving dynamic, the whole double jump, because they were the first ones to do it. They just didn't have enough damn content to keep people entertained.
Pretty much, yeah. It just fell apart.
They shipped a full game that was only a multiplayer mode. They should have sold that game for $29. That's what they should have done. I mean, from what I understand of the game now, I think it was only worth maybe $30, $40. It shouldn't have been sold at full retail at $60. You agree, Brian?
Yeah, I think I do agree. It shouldn't have been a full retail product. I think my camera went out. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, it's just a black screen for me.
No, it's a rabbit.
There's a cute picture of a rabbit, too.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Speaking of Titanfall, this actually works into my impossible question pretty well. They're dumb questions. I like to call it a dumb question. All right, so of all the games that came out this year, you can pick one that gets a sequel.
Oh, that's fucked.
Oh. Only one gets a sequel. So every other game that came out this year...
Never get a sequel?
Last of Us Remastered doesn't count because that's a remake from last year.
Oh, so that's good. All right, cool.
And the reason I'm saying that is because I know that would be your pick, and I wanted to make it harder for you than that. So every game this year, it has to be original to this year. So another game that would, like Tomb Raider, didn't.
I think I got it.
Yep. Okay, so pick that game. Which one gets the sequel?
I would say Destiny because the groundwork that game has laid down for a future sequel, like the possibilities with the Destiny 2 are endless. What they can do with that game, I think they can take it really far. Like just include tons more planets, be able to like fly through space and shit with your spaceships. Like a next gen only Destiny 2 would be phenomenal. It has so much potential. I'd like to see a sequel.
That's a good answer. How about you, Brett? What do you think?
I'm trying to think. Okay, so the games I care about the most are already in the works.
Call of Duty.
No, Call of Duty already has a sequel.
No, never mind. Keep Call of Duty getting more and more speed.
The question is though that every other game that you don't pick never gets a sequel. So if you don't pick Call of Duty never gets a sequel. Advanced Warfare
is the last one.
Yeah,
that's why I'm saying pick COD so they can keep.
Black Ops 3 never happens.
Well, you know what? Just for the sake of humanity, I pick Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Because Call of Duty is one of the biggest franchises of all time. So many people play that game. It's like it's been the #1 shooter for years.
Yeah, I don't know if it is anymore.
Well, even if it isn't right now, it has been for so long. It has a deep embedded love with so many gamers that I want to see those people be able to continue on. I mean, I wouldn't say Infamous or something like that because it doesn't affect as many people. I'll go with the game that affects the most people, and that's Call of Duty. Even if Advanced Warfare isn't the best shooter of the year, it's going to outsell everything else. So, I think I'd have to go with Call of Duty because the future of that franchise could potentially be bright. It could really be a really bright future. Everything else that came out, the games I care about have already been sequels, so those will continue anyway. And The Last of Us already exists, so yeah, fuck Battlefield. I'd go with Call of Duty.
Oh, shots fired. Fuck you, Battlefield.
Oh, wow. This is our most vulgar podcast ever. Like,
yes.
by a long shot.
I just don't think Battlefield, to me, it's not a comparable experience to me to Call of Duty.
No,
when I play them both, they feel extremely different to me. They feel very different. The way that they control, the way that the character moves, everything is totally different. And I understand that people will only play Battlefield because that's what they adapted to. That's the way they play. But for me, Call of Duty is just, that to me is what a first-person shooter is supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
I gotta agree with Robbie here. I'm gonna go with Destiny. This game is just so much more. It's so much fun. There's so much more to it than something like Call of Duty for me. Now, Call of Duty, I think, over the years has represented one of the best values in gaming. Right? Is they offer a single-player mode, a multiplayer mode, a zombie mode, like it is hours and hours of entertainment. But for me, Destiny, it's changing the way I am thinking about a first-person shooter and like playing with my friends in a way that hasn't happened since Call of Duty, frankly, since Modern Warfare came out.
Well, the reason I didn't pick Destiny, and I think it's a valid reason, is because Destiny doesn't have to have a Destiny 2. Destiny
it will. We're not even going to start with this. There's going to be a Destiny 2.
Let me finish. I'm not alone here. There's been many other people who speculate that Destiny 2 could just be future iterations of what Destiny is now, because if you get millions of people playing Destiny and then all of a sudden you create Destiny 2, it's going to alienate both worlds. You're on Venus, I'm on Venus, but you're on Destiny 2. I can't play with you. It'll be a little bit different rather than create this seamless supposed environment.
That's how it's going to be in December when they announced the DLC, or when they released the DLC, though. It's like, well, I'm on the DLC, and I don't... Robbie says, well, I didn't buy the DLC, and I say, well, I guess I'll see it in Call of Duty.
Actually, I did, but...
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is... I mean, I think right now it's like a 50-50 split of people who think that Destiny 2 is actually going to be a future iteration of what Destiny is now. I mean, some people are speculating that their 10-year plan includes Destiny 2 and Destiny 3. I'm in the camp that I think Destiny is their 10-year plan.
No way.
I think that's what.
That's not happening. No.
That's what I think. I think that Destiny.
We're just tagging up on you, Beastly. We're just following you right now. Oh.
I don't give a shit.
2-on-1 bitch.
I think that
Look,
Destiny,
if you relax, this will go much easier for you.
Well, all right.
Stop now. We'll stop the beat.
Don't try and fight it.
Don't fight it. You know what's happening.
I think
there's gonna be a Destiny 2. Don't fight it.
I think that their plan for Destiny is just being realized. I think that over the next few years, Destiny is going to become that game.
Yeah. If it were to go the way you're saying, Beasley, that's fine. I just think that they'll feel the pull of $60 per game pretty hard. Destiny is a popular game. We saw that in the numbers that we were talking about tonight. And, in 2 or 3 years when, Activision is saying, we could use another $400 million.
Calling me to say, hey, we were thinking, guys.
We need some money in the bank right about now.
You guys going back to work? We're gonna get some money. You got coffee on us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but that's the reason I didn't choose Destiny, because I think I see Destiny evolving as what it is right now. I think that by December of 2015, Destiny will be a completely different game than it is now, and that's not a sequel. I think that's why I'm okay with not choosing Destiny as a sequel, because I think it'll become a sequel as a standalone, as what it is, as DLC and patches and everything, are released for it. So that's why I didn't pick it. But Call of Duty, come on, who the hell would only want, the last Call of Duty game to be Call of Duty Ghosts or Advanced Warfare?
I like Call of Duty Ghosts, motherfuckers.
You're in the minority, sir.
I love it. I think the game is great.
Some people, think that asparagus or cauliflower is, the best thing in the world.
Hey, that's very good for you.
Yeah, it's good for you. It doesn't mean it tastes good.
Well, hamburgers taste good, but they're killing you faster than cigarettes.
Well, I hope so. No,
Jesus.
But that's why I chose that. I think that to leave Call of Duty as what it is now, a dubious future, would do a disservice to that franchise. I think there's too many people who love Call of Duty for what it is to let it end like that. Destiny's new, Call of Duty's already, established, and that's why I want Call of Duty. But you guys, I respect your decision.
Robbie, last week I asked you, do you think that we'll be playing, or that you'll be playing Destiny in September of 2015? And you still believe that?
I still believe that.
Do you believe that? I didn't ask anybody else.
You asking me?
Yeah.
I think right now it's a 50-50 chance. I don't think it's a definitive answer right now either way, because the things that could really flesh out that game, whether it be new story content, new Crucible stuff, new maps, haven't been released. And if they really release some engaging content that changes what you can do and livens up the game and makes the tower a more breathable environment, I think more people will play it, because people are playing, and going to the tower now. Even if the tower is stale as hell, it is. It's a very sterile and stale environment. Everybody's static, standing still. There's nothing to do. If they start to, add little perks and things that you can do to make the world feel more alive and, give you a little bit more story to flesh out what's going on.
More stuff like Xur.
Yeah, Xur. Yeah, the guy in the restaurant. Yeah. More people like him. Yeah. I think that'll definitely keep people engaged. But the fact that you got 3.2 million people coming back every day.
Yeah.
I mean, even if that slows down in 6 months, it's only 1.5 million people a day. Yeah. That's still reason, to release new content that brings people, back on board. But I think that in September of next year, there'll still be a lot of people playing it. Whether it's more people or less, only time will tell. But the game can't get worse than it is. That's the thing.
No, it'll keep getting better. That's for sure. As they release content, I bet the answer to that question has a lot to do with what the release schedule for content is too. If the content drop happens to happen in September, I bet we'll be playing it. How about Advanced Warfare? Do you think we'll be playing Advanced Warfare in September 2015?
Yeah.
Probably, yes. I'd say so.
Yeah.
Really? So you think that Advanced Warfare has a longer tail than Destiny?
Because it's like that with every Call of Duty. You play it mostly up until the next one comes out, at least for most people. So
the reason it does to me is because, look, the reason Destiny is under all this scrutiny is because what people thought it was, in the eyes of many gamers, it fell short. But Call of Duty, you already know what it is.
Do you?
Yes, you know what the multiplayer experience is. If you go do some TDM, you know what the hell they expect. If you go capture a flag, you know what they expect. Just mindless killing. Who's the best, who can articulate their controller and get the kill quicker. That's all you're going to do in Call of Duty. You know what it is. What do you do in Call of Duty Ghosts? It's just mindless killing. And it's enjoyable. And it's exciting.
I don't think it's mindless, but, I mean, I guess that point could be debated.
Yeah, I mean... Now, I didn't mean that to say it in a derogatory way. I'm just saying.
No, I understand.
It's just there's no story involved. It's just killing. In Call of Duty's, versus modes online.
Now there'll be loot drops and kangaroo jumps.
Yeah. So I mean, if you add that to the paradigm of what Call of Duty is, and you know that you play Call of Duty every year for a year, you already know what to expect. But they've added this new little mix of loot drops and these super jumps. So you add that to the mix. Of course, you'll be playing it in a year. Of course. That's part of your staple anyway. You know you'll be playing it in a year. I think I'm going to enjoy it more than I've enjoyed Call of Duty in the last year. I mean, just seeing the videos I feel like, okay, this is a huge step away from what Call of Duty Ghosts is. I'm really excited about it. Now, as I play more Call of Duty Ghosts, I like it. I just don't like it as much as I did Black Ops 2. I know that you feel differently. I know, Briar, you feel totally differently about that. To me personally, I had one of the best experiences in Call of Duty on Black Ops 2. And I was never down on Black Ops 2. I never said that in the beginning. I didn't like it. Kate and I, we got that game, and as soon as we started playing it, we were like, holy shit, this is awesome. That's how I felt from the entire time I played Black Ops 2.
I loved Black Ops 2. I just hated the netcode.
When we started...
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. When we started playing Call of Duty Ghosts, my initial, immediate thought process was, what the hell did they do here? This is different. I felt like
my initial impression was they went back to the original Modern Warfare series.
Oh, well, the first Call of Duty I ever played was Modern Warfare 2. So, I'd never gotten into the old series. Modern Warfare 2 was my first, experience with it. I tried to stay away from it as long as possible because I didn't want to feel like everybody else in America that had all my friends were like, dude, Call of Duty is the best shit ever. I'm like, man, fuck you. That's how I was treated. I don't want to play that shit. Everybody else is playing it. And so I stayed away from it, and I was playing Mirror's Edge, all kinds of stuff.
Mirror's Edge was great. They're making a Mirror's Edge, too.
Yes, they are, and I can't wait for it. But when I finally got my hands on Modern Warfare 2 and started playing, I was like, shit, this is really fun. Don't I feel like a fuck? And I did. And I loved it. I thought the experience was awesome. And that was my first Call of Duty experience. But when I got to Ghost, I felt like I was put off a little bit compared to Black Ops 2 because to me, that was the height for me of what Call of Duty was. It was modern. The perks were awesome. The guns were sick. The MSMC was awesome. And I just felt like I couldn't get that back in Call of Duty Ghosts. I couldn't get my loadout. The gun didn't compare to me, and I was like, the gigantic open worlds. I felt like I'd see a T-Rex cross the prairie out in the field. It was just so wide open, and it felt so different. But as I played it more, I got more used to it, and it became more fun. It's like falling in love with an ugly woman. First you don't love her and she loves you, but she treats you good, then you learn to love her, and that's what happened.
That's right.
Okay.
That's my thing with Ghosts. The netcode was so good in Ghosts that I just had less what the fuck moments than I did with Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 was infuriating because the netcode was terrible. It's like the bullets would wrap around corners and tag you in the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, that game, the netcode was abysmal in that game. The game was fun. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. But, man, the netcode sucked. Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
Like, where you thought you were, and where the enemy thinks you were two totally different places. Like, where you were on your screen and where they saw you.
You would notice in those replays what happened, and you're like, what the fuck, that's not what happened?
Yeah.
Those situations,
you could demonstrate. People made videos side by side of, like, a guy crossing a certain point, and on the person who's watching that, it would happen like a split second later. Like it was bad netcode.
Hold on, guys. I got a cat on top of the oven. Get down, Dexter.
What?
That's right. Dexter was good.
Hey guys, should we wrap this one up? You guys all set?
No, I got a question.
All right, well, go ahead.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. If you could pull back any perk, not perk like in-game perk, but if you could bring back any of the features from any of the other Call of Duty games that have already existed, that may have existed in one game versus another, what would you bring back into Advanced Warfare?
Napalm from Black Ops 1.
Okay, so you're going with a weapon. Okay, what about you, Robbie? It can be a game mode. It can be anything.
I guess zombies. I would love to see zombies in Advanced Warfare, and there's been a lot of rumors of that, so I picked.
I would bring back fucking theater mode.
Mm-hmm.
To me, theater mode, it just made things so much easier because you didn't have to worry about, connecting and doing all this stuff. You just go kick ass, you go to theater mode, you can watch your videos.
Well, there's no point of theater mode on the new consoles because you have the DVR, you have the game recording feature and sharing. There's no point of that.
I don't use that. I use a real capture card.
Well, that.
Also, you could move the camera around, and people did some interesting stuff with that.
Yeah, I love the theater mode. Because as Briar said, a lot of those videos were tweaked for maximum effectiveness, and hopefully they do something
stuff with that. I went with Napalm because I like the way that would change team-based game modes. Is that you could lay that directly over an objective to just make that objective off limits. You could lay it on like a route to an objective to make it to funnel traffic like in a different direction. I mean, Napalm was like the coolest kill streak, and they never brought it back.
I've never seen it before. Wow.
It was awesome. You would lay a strip of fire across the map, right? And you could rotate it, and you could move it to any part of the map you wanted. So, like I said, you could.
Really?
There were some maps where you could actually hit 2 objectives with 1 napalm strike, and make it totally off limits to the enemy. It was a really fun kill streak, and I don't know, they just never brought it back. Maybe it was like OP, because once you figured out what it did, like how it could be used, it was a really fun kill streak, and they never.
How long did it last?
Not long. I want to say like 10 seconds or something like that.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right.
It was long enough to change the flow of a game, though. Your team could be. Yeah, your team could be finally capturing B when you've had nothing but trouble getting to B, and then all of a sudden you're holding it down and you win the game because somebody did a well-timed and well-placed napalm strike. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for theater mode, though.
Okay. I agree. I like theater mode, too. I kind of agree with Robbie. I doubt we'll ever see it again just because they seem to be pushing so hard to get 1080p. And, Call of Duty is running for 60 frames per second, so I doubt they'll ever actually hit 1080p on these consoles, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I blame theater mode for a lot of the net connection issues that we had in past Call of Duties.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that game had to be being sent to another server to record everything. It was like having an extra player. All right, I think we should wrap this one up. You guys all set?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody got anything they want to pimp this week?
My ride. It's a big-ass van outside.
Oh, it's the one with the no windows in the back?
No, it's just boarded up. Thanks everybody for checking out the BC Thoughts Show this week. We'll be back with you guys next Sunday promptly at 6 o'clock. You guys stay cool now.
That's right. I'll be doing, I did the Turtle Beach Stealth 400 headset review this week. I'll be doing some more headset reviews in the upcoming weeks. Turtle Beach is doing a whole second round of headsets for the new consoles. I was surprised to see that.
And Brian gave me some news earlier today about a headset. I don't know if you're playing or not, but you sure did pique my interest.
Yeah, no, I wasn't playing.
Oh, shit. Awesome news.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace, everybody.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. I love you. Bye-bye.